So if you aren't already aware, Apple just came out and announced 3 brand new products, all running Apple Silicon. But what does that mean for us architects around the world in 2020? Well, today we're going to find out. What's going on, guys? My name's David Tomic and welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at the 3 brand new products from Apple: the MacBook Air, the MacBook Pro and the MacBook Mini. We're going to be looking at the Apple Silicon architecture, what this M1 chip is and what it truly means for us architects out there in 2020. Simply put, the M1 chip is a combination of multiple parts previously used and combined through the Intel chip system to make the computer powerful and run. Now, the M1 chip combines some of the most powerful and most important elements in your computer to date. The M1 chip combines your CPU, your GPU, your graphics card, your data and power management, and also your security. It does a whole bunch of other features as well, but this is the primary elements that truly contribute to how we operate our systems from a day-to-day basis. Some simple facts and figures for you: 2.8 times faster CPU, 5 times faster GPU, and 5.9 times faster rendering. All of those sound fantastic if you're comparing it to your old device. So if you're running a MacBook Pro right now, you're going to get 2 times faster CPU performance. As an ArchiCAD user myself, personally speaking, I know that this will genuinely result in a much better performance when operating the system. ArchiCAD runs on predominantly CPU requirements. It only boots up the graphics card when you enter the 3D engine or when you go into something like Twinmotion and are doing some visualization. I was in a meeting a couple weeks ago discussing Apple Silicon with the Graphisoft team, and they personally said to me that they have known about Apple Silicon for a very long time now, and they are already ahead of the game, making sure that Graphisoft is compatible once it launches, which is now. If you just think about ArchiCAD and how ArchiCAD started back in the day, it was originally approached by Steve Jobs personally to bring ArchiCAD to the Apple software. So Graphisoft and Apple have a very close relationship, and that will truly show as we move forward and Graphisoft becomes even more powerful and even more stable on the new M1 chip. Breaking down the 3 individual products and potentially which one might be the best for you as an architect in 2020. If you were to go out and purchase any one of these, well, it is a very tough decision. To break down the cons, first of all, the MacBook Air has no fans, and that is not a play on words. It is actually genuinely a product without any fans cooling the device. I know personally, every time I run ArchiCAD and then boot up Photoshop and open up, I don't know, Twinmotion and then some Illustrator and maybe some Chrome, all of a sudden my computer makes a hell of a lot of noise. My computer behind me, which is a custom built rendering machine, still gets very loud and has to cool all the time. So personally speaking, I don't think the MacBook Air will be able to handle the power requirements of an architectural system and an architectural software package, for the simple fact it won't be able to cool it in time. It'll get extremely hot and potentially extremely dangerous. Now, I know the M1 chip is meant to be better at performance and thermal efficiency as well as power management. However, I genuinely don't see the MacBook Air as a competitor in the world of architecture in 2020. Stepping up to the MacBook Pro, it does have some fans. It has some mechanical cooling inside, which means it will be able to pump out that hot air when it needs to, and also potentially remain very quiet. They are saying it is dead silent, nothing like the previous MacBooks, which were annoyingly loud when you needed to do anything. So this is potentially a truly useful competitor. Now, when I say truly useful, you have to take this with a grain of salt, because what I mean is the simple fact that any laptop you purchase, and if you haven't seen my top 20 laptops for 2020 for architects, I'll link it down below if you want to take a look, is every laptop isn't going to be your main daily driver. You really should be looking for a product like a desktop or an iMac that you can sit at and run 24/7, because you genuinely need those high performance cores running all the time and not being split 50-50 between high performance and high efficiency cores like the M1 chip is right now. So even though the MacBook Pro is powerful enough to run ArchiCAD, and in my personal opinion, more than likely powerful enough to run most projects in ArchiCAD to a medium density scale, maybe 5-6 units at a time, it probably shouldn't be your daily driver. It will, however, be a genuinely good device if you're out on the road, going on a holiday, going on a plane trip somewhere, or just a simple work trip. If this is your device that you need to carry along with you to quickly do some work, it will be phenomenal. However, keep in mind, if you are an ArchiCAD, USB-C dongles are extremely rare and extremely limited, so you're gonna have to go to the cloud-based software key options. And last but not least, the MacBook Mini. Now, this is actually a fan favorite for me. It is a really nice device in a very small compact package. However, it hasn't been upgraded in a very, very long time. So even though it boasts some incredible figures, like 15 times faster than the previous version of the Mac Mini, it hasn't been updated, whilst the MacBook Pro and the MacBook Air have been updated multiple times. So the MacBook Mini, yes, it is significantly faster than the previous generation, but it is still a very small compact package. Again, I think it is on the same plane as the MacBook Pro, so if you're looking for an alternative device, just to quickly run through some drawings, look at some information, maybe make some small changes, phenomenal device. If you're looking for a daily driver, I wouldn't recommend it. In a nutshell, the M1 chip is an extremely powerful and phenomenal step forward in innovation and architecture. To have all of your main components combined into one, talking together as one, brings us a step closer to that artificial intelligence that everybody's worried about or dreaming about. If you're using ArchiCAD at the same time, it is 100% CPU based 90% of the time, unless you're in the 3D window. So you're definitely going to see some improved performance, improved power, and a very visible, noticeable change from your previous computer to your brand new M1 chip. Anyway, that's all for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button down below to help this video with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more of these videos, smash that subscribe button. Leave a comment down below if you want to see something specific. And as always, I will see you next Monday.